Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean. Last time we did a bunch of item creation, including writing and artwork or drawing or whatever. And in between this episode and the last, I finished up the musical section of there. So now I haven't really been all that clear about how all this item creation stuff works. I've kind of been trying to brush through it, get through it real quick. Just because it takes so much time to do off screen. But, so, as you can see there, it takes composer's pens. Now every attempt, you might as well just go buy one real quick and kind of show you how this works. Every time you make an attempt to learn or compose a song there, you will consume one of these. So let's buy a couple of those, go like this, go back, use Millie because she has the talent for it. Go compose. Now, yeah, so each time you use one, you compose a song. And, of course, I can't learn anything because I've already learned them all. But eventually this will show up with learned one of these songs. There's 2 per instrument, and they all have different effects. So, trumpet will lower the encounter rate. Now basically the difference between trumpet 1 and trumpet 2, which does pretty much the same thing, is just the efficacy of the actual effect. So this will lower it a little more. With clarinet it's a little different because they will make you encounter certain enemies. Now if you do the clarinet number 1, you'll encounter 4 black slimes, which are decent for leveling up. They're a little stronger than the enemies we've been fighting up until this point, so decent to fight in that sense. I got some good experience because they can multiply a whole bunch of times, giving you more experience. Clarinet number 2 is a whole nother ball game. Yeah, this one will summon the game's super boss. Well, one of the super bosses, I guess. This technically is the best way of grinding for levels in the game. If you can do it fast enough and if you can do it consistently enough. You get a lot of experience from fighting this boss. I am nowhere near ready for it, so we're going to just leave that off to the side for now. But just note that by the time you hit about, say, level 45 to 50, and once you've gotten some of the better weapons in the game and tri-emblems, you'll be able to take her down and use her to grind out some more levels, if you so desire. This is increases your encounter rates for harmonica there. Guitar, while you listen to this one, HP is restored. And of course a little faster. I don't know how well these work, but the odd thing is let's select, say, this one. HP and MP are restored, and this one just MP is restored. Let's go to the guitar one here. Now, each of these will play a different little tune. Now keep an eye on Millie's MP. Okay, prove me wrong, why don't you? I know there's one around here that drops your MP after using it. And apparently it's not any of these, I don't know why. I always found it funny that I used this one to restore my MP. Maybe it doesn't do it in towns or something. I remember using this to try and restore some of my MP, and then it didn't work and I just kept losing MP, so it wasn't very effective. Violin. Melody's effect is unknown. Yeah, this one's a little tricky. Now, depending on the source that you're looking at, some say that this increases the success rate of item creation, while others, in addition to another effect, the other effect is it will give you an opportunity to learn a talent. So say she doesn't have sense of taste and I start doing cooking with Millie, and I do it over and over again and she fails repeatedly because she doesn't have the talent for it. Eventually, if you're playing either of the violin songs, you'll have a much greater chance of developing that talent spontaneously. Now, every time you develop a talent in this manner, you gain 50 SP to use as you see fit. Now, you could waste a hell of a lot of time and try and get everyone to have all of them. There are very few characters who can actually have all of them. I believe Millie is one, and Marvel is one. Most characters can't because either they can't develop originality or because they can't develop a sense of mana. Of course, none of the fighters, save for Marvel, can do sense of mana, but Millie can actually do originality, and I don't believe, well, Renixis can. Maybe he can do all of them as well. There are some talents that they'll never learn. Regardless, they won't start with them, they won't learn them over time. I'm not sure what all of them are. I don't care. I find it's far too time-consuming to do all that. With that being said, using it while you're trying to do item creation, sometimes it seems to help, sometimes it doesn't. Based on my experience, I'd say it kind of works to increase the, your success rate at item creation, but not really enough to use it. Now, do note that there is a bug with specifically the violin. If you use it in town, and this is just from what I've read, if you use it in town and you do your song, you play the song, and then you do some item creation, you try and learn, you're trying to learn a new talent, and you do learn a new talent. Now, apparently, from what I've read from a lot of different sources, if you press the A button during the fanfare theme that plays while you've learned this new talent, the game will freeze on you. Now, and this only works, I think, in dungeons and in town. One other location I can't recall. But, like, not on the world map, which is where you'll do a lot of it anyway. But, yeah, so just be very careful when using the violin. Make sure you're saving your game all the time and all that stuff. Funny note about that. Yeah, you may notice that I have quite a bit more money than I did at the end of the last episode. Yeah, while I was doing my my learning of all the music spells, what I did is I went, oh, one of the first things I learned was violin too. So I was like, okay, I'll play that while I'm doing compose so that I can learn them faster. Maybe it'll work for me. And the game froze. So yeah, I had to go back and I redo half of what was in that last video. So yeah, lots of time. I think I lost about an hour and a half worth of game time anyway. So it wasn't, of course, that much actual time for me, but still a pain in the ass. And so I got a little more money just because I have no idea how much I had before and all that stuff. So with that being said, we now have an opportunity to do some more item creation. Now, there's going to be a lot of item creation. I didn't really mention this ahead of time, but yeah, over the last couple of videos, this video, by the next video, I think we'll be through most of it. We'll be putting it to the side for now. But yeah, there are definitely some more item creation things that I would like to do right now. For starters, let's go to Radix. Now, Radix has a lot of extra points, and he also has the design sense talent, I believe. Yes, no, that's for art. The manual dexterity one. This one is for crafting. Now, what crafting does is, as you can see, my level is 5, which isn't really high enough to do anything with. So I'm going to up my talent in that. So let's take mineralogy here, which is part of it. And as you can see, my metallurgy, which is crafting, and my identification skill have increased. Let's see, aesthetic sense, I want to raise that one to 5, if I recall. And workmanship is the other one that's part of that. It's got level 8. And yeah, I might as well max it out, which increases my smithing ability, which I will use quite a bit later. I don't feel like doing that right now. While I'm here, I might as well put a few points into here so that you learn training. And since I'm on the subject of doing that, might as well do the same for area. Let's see. There we go. Just give them level 6 training. Should be more than enough for what I need to do right now. Okay, so now what we've done here is we've got our crafting ability. Let's see, let's go into item creation here. As you see off screen, I have duplicated up to 20 rainbow diamonds. We had one originally, so make sure you dupe them because they're very useful, and I will show you why. Now, we can do a bunch of other things here. I don't actually have any food to cook, but yeah, you can cook if you really want to. I don't care to. Compounding is, let's see, I got level 7 skill with that, so let's just, basically you mix a couple of these together. And, you know, half the time it seems to give you question mark items. I don't really care. There we go. What'd I get? A bitter potion. That's not very good. I don't want that at all. Ah, well, we have identification, so we might as well make use of it. Basically, the way Identify works is, as you can see in the top right there, it uses spectacles. So you press this, and it attempts to identify. If it fails, you just lose a spectacle, which are cheap as hell anyway. Now, by combining the different items, these are just all the items I have from the game. Here we've got a rune medal, which is kind of rare. What do I got here? Question mark item. Got these after battle. These are sweet serves. These are actually pretty good. Here are some weapons, which are long swords. Basically, these are just items I picked up throughout the game or got after battle. Question mark guard. This will be the dwarven boots. That'll be useful. Question mark guard. Dwarven mail. Again, that'll be useful. Let's see. Come on, hurry up and work. What else I get? Okay, this is probably the... yeah, it's the Sage Stone. This one's really hard to identify for some reason. You don't really need to spend a lot of time upping your ability to use Identify. From all of the skill books that I've used, you pretty much get most of them as is. You get item lore, mineralogy, and herbal medicine, so all of those will go to level 7, which I think gives you an Identify rate of 7 or maybe 6. Either way, it's more than you'll ever need for doing this. You can up the other ones over time if you need to, like herbal medicine I'll max because it has an effect in battle. Mineralogy I already have maxed because I'm going to work on crafting. Now, as for crafting itself, since I'm done dicking around with other things, you can do alchemy as well. Basically, you use iron, and it becomes something else. It becomes one of the other ones, depending on what your level is with the ability. There's only one thing you'll ever really want to use that for, and we have ways around that anyway. Smithing is basically you combine a weapon with a mineral, and as you can see in the top right, you expend a smith hammer, and you have a chance of getting something decent. If you're successful, good. You lose all the items that you had, you get the new one. If you're unsuccessful, you still lose all the items. The smith hammer, the mineral, and the weapon. So again, we're going to have to do some duplication before we can actually do that, but I'll be doing that later. Let's see, authoring, we've already done that. Art, we've done. Okay, let's actually do some crafting. Now with crafting, there's not a whole lot to it. You take one item, and you hopefully get lucky. And that's garbage. Now, there are successful items, such as the Magical Persia, and there are unsuccessful items, such as the first one and this one. Anytime there's a little comment after, and if you notice the emoticon in the top left there, yeah, you're getting something that's basically worthless. Now, the reason why I want to keep doing this, specifically with Rainbow Diamonds, is because I want to get this. The Dream Crown. I'm surprised I got that so fast. Okay, now, one of the biggest problems in this game is no one has any gear. No shield, no helmet. Oh, you got some. No shield, no helmet. A pointless helmet that's a frog. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, so basically only our knights can get decent shields or helmets. So they only got 24. Now, for a character like Iria who has lower defense, we could probably use something. This is by far the best helmet in the game, and it can be used by every character in the game. So yeah, these are kind of rare to get, so it's kind of a pain to get them, and the only way you can get them is through crafting. You'll never find one anywhere in the world, as far as I know anyway. So what I want to do is I basically want to farm these out, and the best way I've found to do this is to duplicate yourself 20 rainbow diamonds, then you go outside and you save. You go into your save menu, save your game, and then you go item creation, craft, and then just do this over and over and over again. If you don't get any dream crowns or whatever, yeah, dream crown, then just, you know, reload your save file and try it again. You'll get some other items while you're doing this as well. I'm going to go over those after I've done all this stuff off screen because it's going to take way too long. The other items I want to get are from rubies and sapphires, which you can buy specifically at that shop that we were just at, so that's nice. But just to note all of the items that you can get from rubies, sapphires, and rainbow diamonds. Rainbow diamonds you'll have to keep duplicating over and over and over again because it's going to take, you know, 4, 5, 6 attempts to get enough for all of our characters. I'm personally going to pick up 8. You can make do with 4 and then swap them as your characters swap in and out. I hate doing that, so I'm just going to get 8 right now. It'll take me, you know, a few hours of game time. But yeah, it's not really going to take that much time at all because I'm going to just go basically and do this. Fast forward through it and it goes really fast. Now, make absolutely certain with your rainbow diamond that you do not use your last one, otherwise you're screwed. Another reason to use your save point. You know, make sure you don't use the last one or you can't get them until you find another one. There are a very small amount of them in the game. So you definitely want to make sure that you have enough left. Now, I find the most effective way of, making this go by faster is, of course, to use the, you know, new items at the top ability there to organize your inventory. You put the rainbow diamonds at the top, do all them, and once you're done with the rainbow diamonds, and say you want to work on the sapphires or the rubies, in order to make them go to the top, what you do is you go into here, go and sell. Where are they? You sell a couple of those, settle, talk to her again, buy a couple of each. You only need to do one, but whatever. And now, since you've newly acquired these ones, you just select new, and those two are at the top. Now, some of these items, like these embarrassment, of course, is nothing. Magical drop, I'll go over what those do later. Magical mists, you know, I'm going to get a whole bunch of different items from this, so I'm going to go over those in the next episode once I've gotten all these things. For now, from the ruby, you can get one of 4 items. A berserk ring, which I'm actually looking forward to getting. Ruby Persia, which I believe just sells for money. Flare ring, which we've already seen, reduces fire damage. And a shield ring, which we've already seen and I don't care for. The sapphire, you can get a necklace, which is garbage. An aqua ring, which reduces water damage by 50%, similar to the flare ring. A feat symbol, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to stand for, but basically increases your attack and hit percentage by 10%. So that's decent as far as accessories go, considering what we have now, which is next to nothing. And a paralyzed charm, which I don't particularly care for. The rainbow diamond can drop or create a magical drop, a magical Persia, the dream crown, which is the key one, and a magical mist. Now the magical mist, as you can see there, increases your escape speed. This is actually kind of useful to have before the next area that we're going to go into. So, well, it might be. I'm still trying to think about where I'm going to go first. Whatever. Maybe I should continue the actual main plot. What a novel idea. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to do all of this crafting off screen. Let's see here. Now I want to go back to items. If there's anything else in item creation that I haven't really shown off properly, with cooking, every time you use things like seafood, grain, meat, vegetables, you use up one of them every time you attempt to make something. With compounding, you use up these things. With authoring, the research pens counter there at the top right, you use up them, so you have to keep buying them over and over again. With art, you have to keep buying magical colors so that you can duplicate things. everything pretty much, you know, you lose something from each one. Alchemy, you lose irons. Smithing, you lose a lot. So, with that being said, I'm going to do all of this stuff off screen. It's going to cost quite a bit of money. I'm guessing about $1 million or so by the time I get all of the items that I want to get. And once I do that, we'll come back and I'll show you all the new stuff that I got, see what we can do with it. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.